Hi, this is Cheryl back with you from Farmhouse Frugally with day 5 of our 12 days of Christmas. Today is signs, and I am starting with this little lemon sign my daughter picked up on the good table at the dump. And I went through my stash and wanted to use either some of this hymnal paper or some of my music paper to decoupage on over this. This is actually a double-sided sign. The other side has something to do with the 4th of July. And after washing this up, and it's not my style for my home, so I decided I would use this as the base for a sign since it's free. So I am just taking too much decoupage medium here, and I am trying to get some of it off. And I am going to adhere my white music tissue paper because the white one went better with the rest of my design. Tissue paper is very thin, and rather than paint the lemon 12 times, I decided to just go ahead and decoupage some white copy paper to cover up the lemon design first, and then I am going to go ahead and decoupage the music paper. And then I printed on my rice paper a beautiful picture of a church, and that was my inspiration for this picture. I loved this, and I just wanted to make sure that I was able to get this printed. And I know you can get a number of them on the graphicsfairy.com or on Pinterest, or really a lot of times you can just Google an image if you're not going to sell it. So I just ripped around the edges of that and then decoupaged that right over the music paper. Now, once I did decoupage that on, I like to use a little bit of cling wrap or saran wrap or something balled up and just kind of press out the bulk of the wrinkles if you don't want the wrinkles. Sometimes I want the wrinkles. In this particular case, I wanted to get some of them out. They do build up, so since I was decoupaging on decoupage on decoupage, I wanted to make sure that I got the bulk of them out. So once I get that done, I am going to finish this off with a few little embellishments. Now I'm going to start with a little sticker pack my daughter had found at the good table at the dump. I'm telling you, my dump, you can find anything. And I think these come, potentially, I think these come from the dollar store, but I'm not positive. But I do have something similar from the dollar store, so I know that you can get that. And I am just going to go ahead and add the words hope to the top of the music paper. These are in silver, and I just like the look of that little bit of shimmer on the top because I am then going to add a little bit of snow down at the base of the church and just a little green piece of leftover garland that I'm going to apply next to the church to make it look like a tree. So this is very, very simple and easy to do. So if you happen to have a picture that is just older hanging around your home, some you'll have to paint the frame on. This one I actually liked the color of the frame because I wanted to display it in the corner of my living room that already has this gold tone in it, which I'll show you in a moment. And before I go further, I do want to remind you this collaboration, 12 Days of Christmas, is hosted by Brenda and Krista. Their channels, as well as a playlist of everyone else who's joining in, will be in my description box. Make sure that you check that out. Make sure that you check out days 1 through 4. I've not already seen those on my channel, and hopefully you'll stick around for tomorrow and the next day and the next. And once I had that finished, I did display that here on the top of my old antique armoire that is in the same color tones, surrounded by the yellowware that I collect, which I think has a very festive feel. And so I hope that you like that. If you do, please give me a thumbs up or share with somebody you think might enjoy this channel. Now that takes me on to item number 2. This one's a little more complicated. Yes, I also got this at the dump, and it was quite dirty. So I took the whole thing apart and had to really clean it good. And I love the frame and I love the shape, but this mat and picture needed some serious help. So I started by just taking 2 coats of white, linen white chalk paint and painting over this frame edge. This is the matte portion, and it is cardboard, so you can paint on them. You just have to do it sparingly. So I did first one coat, let that dry good, and then added a second coat. After cleaning the frame, it did have a few dings and a few just kind of grungy looking places. So I took this gold paint pen that I got. I don't know if you have an Ocean State job lot near you, but this gold pen comes with a silver pen in a double pack, and it is well worth the couple of bucks I paid for it. I'm using it a lot, and I am very, very impressed with it. So I went over the two round edges to just kind of paint in anything that had been dinged, because this is a plastic frame. So anything that had been dinged and kind of looked, less than perfect, I went around and just shined that up. And then once that was done, I took out my gold rub and buff, and I thought, instead of gold rub and buff on the high parts, I think I'm going to do some antique wax. And so I just put antique wax around the interior edge to bring out some of that floral detail. And then went ahead, finished that second coat on the mat, and then went around the interior edges of that mat to make sure that when you're looking at it, you don't see the cardboard interior edge. Then I just put the clean glass back in the frame, and then I wanted to do a picture, obviously, for the interior of where the bird is. So I was looking for some white stock paper, and just took a beautiful transfer that I had in my stash, and you can get transfers on Amazon, on Temu, at Michael's, and I believe at Hobby Lobby and many other places on the internet, on Etsy, and a lot of the other crafters carry them. I do not carry any supplies. I work a full-time job, and so this is for me just something that I really love and enjoy. Once I'm retired, I may change that up, but for now, I do purchase these items, generally speaking, online. Sometimes I have a local place near me where I can get them. So I loved the gold colors in this beautiful transfer, and it came with this little yellow stick, a little bit different than some of the others, and I just went ahead and rubbed that down and peeled back the top on that. And then that was really all that I wanted to do to this, just put this all together. And I love the difference that it made from that very tired, very aged, very dirty frame found at the dump to this beautiful, refreshed item that I could keep from the landfill and just give it new life for the Christmas season. Here it is behind my couch. I don't have anything decorated here for Christmas yet, but I was in the process of cleaning off my mantle and getting that ready. I've done this video before day 2, so if you've already seen my mantle refresh, it doesn't have this on it, but at this moment it's nice and clean and clear, so it was a great backdrop for these little bits of Christmas. So let me know what you think about number 2, which I think is my favorite. And then that takes me on to number 3. I found about 12 of these at the dump, and they had all different sayings about cats and dogs and pets on them. So I went ahead and cleaned them real good because they're very old, and I painted the base of the cream color over with some thicker paint that I had on hand, and then I took my distress ink and went around the edges just to give that a little bit more definition. And then I took out that pen once again, but before I wanted it gold, I decided to go ahead and give it a black Sharpie outline. So I've just free-handed the word Christmas with my Sharpie pen, and then I took that gold tone pen and went over that to bring out that word. Something very, very simple, but really makes a big statement on a tiered tray or just hanging on a dark item. I just really love the way that these little statements around your house bring out the little Christmas season for free or for $1. You could probably pick something like this up at the dollar store and just recreate it with your own words. You could embellish it. I chose to keep it plain. I like it here with this other display. Make sure that you come back again. I have a lot of really beautiful and unique items coming up over the next couple of days. Thanks so much for being part of this 12 Days of Christmas. I will see you in the next one. Take care.